Hi there, I'm Tony, welcome to the channel. Today it is all about the New Balance Fresh Foam X London Edition 40th. Well, here we go. It's my initial review of the New Balance Fresh Foam X Tempo, the little brother to the 1080 V10. But before we get into the review, as always, if you're new around here, thank you very much indeed for joining us. If you could do me a big favour and hit subscribe on the button below, and also hit the bell notification so you find out straight away when I upload new videos. Well, first of all, about this review, I must say these shoes have not been sent to me. They have been bought by the family for me for my birthday, so they are totally paid for by ourselves. They are not freebies. We have not been asked to do a review. Everything I'm going to say is my personal thoughts, so there is no sponsorship or payments behind this video at all, and you're getting it to see it before anybody else. So that said, let's get into it. So this is my initial review, only done a few miles outside and on the treadmill with this. I'll give you more about it when we get about 50, 100 miles into it. But this is just my initial thoughts on this shoe from New Balance. And to be honest, the one thing that really caught my eye and the reason I got, well, there's two reasons actually I got these. First of all, I absolutely think this is a beautiful looking shoe. The colour is spot on. It looks the part. I really just fell in love when I saw it. And the other thing that sold it to me was it's the London edition. Yes, for the 40th running of the London Marathon this year. Fingers crossed it goes ahead in October. It is the shoe for the marathon. Run London. London Marathon decals inside. 40th edition. With a picture of the River Thames, 1981 to 2020. So those are the two reasons I bought it. But let's talk more about the shoe and my initial thoughts. So as I say, I've only done a couple of miles in this so far. We had a quick run on the streets outside before we got hunted down by the police for being outside for too long. So we did that, and then a few miles on the treadmill as well. So both inside and outside workout on this initial review. So right, first of all, let's have a look at it. It's really light. The actual weights I shall put up on the screen now in grams and ounces. This is for a UK size 10, which is USA size 11. So it's not the lightest shoe you're going to come across, but it is a nice lightweight shoe. And that's probably down to the amount of rubber that's been used in the midsole, and also the knit weave that it's got for the upper. So we'll have a look at that in a little bit more detail. We'll start from the bottom, we'll work our way up top. First of all, rubber on the outsole at the front and the back. And in fact, the back, it's got quite a bit of rubber over the bit where you roll on your heel as you come out of your the stride pattern. So it looks like it should be fairly good for use, fairly good for long use with the extra rubber on the back and the front. Now with the London edition, they've cleverly printed in there 40, and again, London and the River Thames, which is a nice touch. I don't know how long that'll last, but then again, I've not bought these shoes to look at. I bought these shoes to use, so we'll see how long that lasts. But I reckon that'll come out pretty quick. But there's plenty of rubber on there to keep us going for a fair few miles. New Balance themselves say you're going to get a fairly good lifespan out of these shoes. Not like some shoes that are coming out now where they're telling you getting about 50 to 100 miles out of it. New Balance have said you will get a full lifespan out of these. So we're probably looking at about 400-500 miles in them. So let's see where we go with that. So the midsole itself is the new Fresh Foam X. Not quite as deep as you'd find on the 1080 V10, but there's still plenty of it there. Now, with this, what I found when I was out doing my initial runs is, being a Nike runner, my previous shoes have all been Nikes and had the Zoom X foam or the React foam in them. This Fresh Foam isn't as springy. There is definitely some sponginess in it. You'll definitely feel the spring in the foam, but it's quite stiff. It's quite stiff compared to the Nikes. But I didn't find that being a bad thing. I found that quite good actually, because it gave me a lot more feeling as when I was touching the ground. But it's springy, but not overly springy, if you see what I mean. Now, the one thing I did find wrong with the shoe was in the midsole, and it was actually at the front of the midsole where your toes sit. When you're going through the running cycle and you're about to toe off onto you as you kick out, it felt quite thin at the front, and you could feel the road through the ends of your toes. So generally, I think it's a really good ride and very responsive shoe. But just that, when you're toeing off, you can just feel the road, and that's the only thing that in the whole shoe has let it down for me. But I think it's just something I'm going to have to get used to, because I really do like it. The uppers, as I said earlier on, it's got a sort of knit weave, which is very breathable, and then there's plenty of rubber bits around it as well, including the New Balance logo and the raised bits here that give it a little bit of sturdiness. Now, the heel itself has got an extra plastic bit, which I think is a really good thing, because when I've been running in the Nikes, which are quite soft at the back, when I've been getting into 20-21 miles on a marathon, I've started to feel I wouldn't say my heel's aching, but starting to tire. So I think with this particular shoe, with something a little bit more firm on the back, that could be better on the long runs. As I say, I've only done a few light miles so far, so I've not really been able to test that out. But when my foot's gone in here and we've got it laced up with quite a thick tongue on it as well, when I've laced them up, it's locked down really tight, which is good. And when I've actually been out running, I've felt no heel slippage neither. So my foot's been clamped in there, and it's felt really good. Now, what type of shoe is it? New Balance say it's a shoe for everyday running. I can quite possibly agree with that from what I've done so far. At the slower speed, it was very nice, very cushioned, and felt good. And then when I just did a couple of strides to get the speed up on my initial run, it was very responsive as well. So there was a nice kick in there. No carbon plates or anything like that. It's just a nice kick off from that midsole apart from the toe. So for me, initially after about 3 or 4 miles, I really do like this New Balance Fresh Foam X Tempo shoe. It's going to be a general everyday running shoe, I feel. It'll be there for the 5Ks, it'll be there for the long runs. And for an everyday runner like me, a middle of the pack runner, I'm not an elite in any way, shape or form. I think it would still be good for a marathon shoe. If you're a sub 3 hour runner, I don't think it's going to be the one for you. But for a middle of the pack backpacker, I still think this is going to be a good shoe for a marathon. We're going to get it out there. We're going to do some short runs. We're going to do some sprints. We're going to do some long runs. We're going to get up to 20 miles or so in it. And we'll see how it feels. And then we'll come back to it when we're somewhere between 50 and 100 miles and see how it's been holding out. But my initial thoughts are New Balance Fresh Foam X Tempo. We're giving it a thumbs up to start with. We're going to see how it performs over the next few weeks. And as I say, once we get up to a higher mileage in it, we'll revisit it and we'll let you know how it's going. But at the moment, I think this is a great looking shoe. It's definitely one of my favourites. I'm going to get out there, I'm going to work it, we're going to see how it goes, and we'll come back to it in a short while. So as I say, it's a thumbs up from me so far. It looks good, it feels good on the foot, and it performed good in my initial running as well. So we'll see how we go from there. So thank you very much indeed for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please hit like, leave some comments. If you've already got the tempos, please let me know what you're doing with yours. And also don't forget to hit subscribe on the way out if you haven't already done so. Thank you very much indeed for watching. I will see you next time. Till then, let's get running.